It's definitely Susquehannock Indian. Lived up in the Chickies Rock area, Chickies Hill, and it was seen supposedly over 400 years ago. They named it Albatwitch after Apple Witch, which their delicacy was apples at that time. We're not sure exactly where they came from. If they came overseas, they were shipped, somehow. We're not sure exactly how this creature was actually created or the birth of this creature.
Now, supposedly they had the ape-like creatures depicted on their war shields. We're not really sure if they had a belief in some sort of ape-like creature or where they got the image from. Perhaps it was just an image to ward off enemy tribes, with fear, seeing the war shield. We're not really sure.
We're not sure exactly why the Susquehannock Indian named them. Like I said, it could have been a grove up there at one time, up on top of Chickies, as apples. Being the Iroquois trading grounds, did they plant things here, apple trees, things like that? So we're not really sure about that.
Chickies was a hopping place in the late 1800s. I mean, they had music playing up there, a trolley going up there, and supposedly these creatures, the Albatwitch, would come out of the trees and they would steal apples from the people who were picnicking. And they would eat the apples and then throw the cores back at the people in hopes of chasing them out of the woods. I've done research and I haven't found any newspaper accounts. Again, it's just hearsay, just witness accounts. Supposedly, people from Columbia have told me, growing up as a kid, if they were bad, their parents would tell them that they better behave or they're going to have the Albatwitch get them.
The most recent acknowledgement of this Albatwitch was back in the 1980s when they published this in the Columbia News. And right now we're doing a research to find this article that we know up on top of Laurel Hill Gardens, which is attached to Chickies Hill, Chickies Rock. There was a sighting of a hairy creature, and this hairy creature, they shut the Laurel Hill Gardens down for like a week to 2 weeks and would not let anybody up into that cemetery because they didn't know what this creature was. Now my friend, teenage friend, he lived on the backside of that hill of where the Laurel Hill Gardens. Now when we were teenagers, he told us a story when he lived in that house that him and his brother were out in the woods. That they were playing out in the woods and this creature came eye to eye with him and pinned him against a tree and just stared at him, and then his brother yelled and then the creature ran. A couple years later, my brother is out on the back roads. It's called the Prospect Tunnel. It's a one-lane tunnel. Him and his friend are in a car and they go into this one-lane tunnel, and when they come around that tunnel, it's a railroad line on top. He says a creature jumps down, this is at night, jumps down, and he said he was so terrified, he says he's never seen an upright creature run that fast. And him and when he got home that night, he was terrified what he saw. What I believe, this creature become a nocturnal creature over the years.
And Rick, you had an encounter with what may have been an Albatwitch as well, right?
Yes, but I'm not really sure what it was, so I don't really tell people. I just saw something strange. Valentine's Day 2002, and I'm driving up Route 23, which is Marietta Pike, and I'm near the intersection of Kinderhook Road. It's a lonely stretch of road at that hour, and as I'm driving up there, up in the distance, it looked like a small boy walking on the road. I was thinking to myself, my God, what's a boy, out at this hour? I was going to offer assistance and stuff. And as I got a little closer, the hairs on my arm started standing up, and I realized this wasn't, a child, and I really didn't know what it was. I took my foot off the gas, and I'm coasting behind this thing, and it was about a 4 foot, 5 foot tall thing, whatever it was, covered in hair. It was just walking down the middle of the road. And I got the impression that it wasn't aware I was behind it. So I put the headlights on, and this thing turned around, looked at me, our eyes met, had yellow eyes, that's the last thing I remember. Our eyes met, and it simply vanished. Didn't walk off the road, run off the road, it simply vanished.